Okay, so what I'm gonna do, my name's Andre, owner of Big Fella Auto Express. Pretty much just gonna run down my first, just about a month of auto transport brokering. I just wanted to do this because there's really not anyone online that has done, I would say, uh, a first month kind of review of being an auto transport broker and what it entails, etc. So pretty much setting this entire process up took a while for me as far as getting the correct broker bond, getting that in order, filing from a motor carrier authority, etc. Um, should have took a little bit less time, but total time was probably around 6 months. Was basically doing some research on the industry a lot of the times. So let me just give you a rundown. This is from October 1st to the 29th. Now, um, currently have my main site hasn't been developed yet. So right now I'm using HubSpot template landing page as far as my website goes. So this is just kind of take it into the portal. But let's take a look at just a general of what has gone on this month and kind of give you guys some tips as far as being a new auto transport broker. I'm coming from the ATM and vending industry, also soda and snack industry. So there's kind of some similarities between the two, um, as far as dealing with competition goes, etc. But it's a lot different. There's a lot more moving pieces involved. So if you're not really a patient person or let things get to you, can kind of be stressful. But a lot of the stuff don't really let it get to me, so it doesn't bother me. So here's take a look at my website for this month. So far 696 views. Had 76 form submissions, which is my quote form submissions, contact, and then customers. These metrics are kind of off because don't believe it logged them correctly. Still have a high bounce rate, 70%, but this is pretty much a page website that I put together myself. It's not the main website final product. So it has a lot of development to go, but my main goal was just just starting out, just to get the website up, something the customers can use to submit their information, etc. Um, and get some general information on there about my business and company. So what I set up and connected to my HubSpot, what you'll have to do as a new auto transport broker is get onto Central Dispatch, which is here. Uh, so I have the Central Dispatch hooked up, and it's not connected directly to my CRM. Kind of taking a while to load here. Um, but what it is, I connected to. I have Central Dispatch, to dispatch the vehicles, and then I also have Super Dispatch. So these are two costs that you're going to incur. I prefer to post them on Central Dispatch, um, and then dispatch them through Super, because Super has a really good vetting process, and you can see the carrier info. Let me see if I can pull it up. My internet's like really slow. Um, but I prefer to post them on Super Dispatch. You can see the reviews of the carriers, and they have a really good vetting process. And so if you're not really familiar with knowing how to vet out some of these carriers correctly, I recommend starting with Super. Um, I've only had Central Dispatch for about a week. I started with Super and was just dispatching through Super Dispatch, but yeah, and here we go here. But but it was kind of limited on the exposure, and so what I do is I post it to Super Dispatch here to kind of get the exposure, and then I'll dispatch it through Central Dispatch. I'll post it, and then through Super Dispatch, I'll dispatch it through there. So we're looking at about 600, 700 views on the website, which that's really low. Um, it really needs to be at that amount per day. But as I said, this is a brand new, just startup business. And this is kind of giving you guys an insight from just basically just starting a website, having your motor carrier authority and everything in order, and kind of going from there. So a lot of the leads, as you seen here, is from direct traffic. Is a majority of my traffic is direct. This is mostly, I believe, coming from Facebook and Reddit. I've been posting in there and posting my services in both of those areas. Reddit has a pretty good forum, auto transport. I got a few customers from there, but the most of my traffic is direct traffic. Social, not too much coming from Instagram, etc. My paid search, I've been running test Google ads, but it has not been working. So, as you see here, the bounce rate has been 93%. I only had spent about 200 on ads, but I'm going to pick that up and actually have a Google SEO guy help me with that. But I haven't set that up just yet. I'm going to set that up for November. Organic search, which is really important. As you see, it's only 52. So I have a lot of work to do, um, basically with SEO and getting exposure on the business. And that's going to be the hardest thing when you come in as a new auto transport broker. Is it's so saturated. You have a lot of companies out there, everybody bidding for business, etc. So the key thing to work on out of the gate is just your website presence, etc. So I have all the social medias and connected to the website. That's one of the main things I did. Um, Set up the blogging area, etc. Um, to help out my website. But this is going to be a work in progress. This is only the first month. So we'll take a look here and get to where I was. Give you kind of guys a rundown. So we'll go to, and I really like using HubSpot. I was going to choose Salesforce, but HubSpot was a little bit more user friendly. I am familiar with Salesforce, but it's just more built, um, I would say, for larger corporations. So if you're just a solo startup, small business, I'd highly recommend HubSpot. It's pretty seamless in setting things up, and it's really good for sales, marketing, and capturing these leads. And I pretty much set all of this up myself. Um, didn't have any assistance with this, so it still needs a lot of work and a lot of tweaking. But it's gonna be a month to month process. So I'll improve the process each month, tweak the website, and work into the final development. As I have another Figma design file development website, but it's really expensive to develop it out. So let me see. We just have to wait on that. So this is my deals area. So total quotes I sent was 91. So I said a total of 91 quotes this month. And that's basically leads coming into the website, submitting their information, or if they had called in. Didn't really receive a lot of calls. I would say maybe total 5 to 6 calls. The majority of the leads, they came directly through the form, quote form. Sent them the quote through email, and a lot of the deals. A good thing is a lot of the deals are done through just basic email. A lot of the customers, they weren't really interested in speaking on the phone unless they needed specific details to tell me about pickup, drop off. But majority of them, they just sent the email. So as you see here, total deal amount that I sent out, which is quotes, was 73,000. Average quote was $812. And then you see this open deal. This is basically I haven't updated the stage yet. Most of these have closed out here, and they're still in these stages. So I'll have to go back and close these out. But this is the close the deal amount that I've won this month. So 9.2K, which isn't too bad. Average per deal 1.16K. And so factor in my broker fee, usually ranges. I was doing kind of testing out different ranges. The industry standards between 15 and 30%. So I was testing out different pricing ranges and price while I was doing pricing quotes. But this is my closed deal amount here. Um, as you see here, I'll still need to update these. So this can kind of give you an idea of what's possible your first month. It's not a lot, but it's a start. Um, and this is pretty much, I did all of this myself. Put a lot of hours into it and a lot of work into it, and it still needs a lot of work and tweaking. Um, I would say the biggest issue that I've seen is the pricing. Um, Let me see what you'll come across here. Um, Let me see. If we go to find shipments, the biggest issue that you're going to come across with as a new auto transport broker is a competition, um, and low rates. So what I received a lot, as you see on my deals, I had 91 total quotes sent, and this deal amount right here, 9,000, 9.2K, that was a total of 7 shipments. So for the month, about 3.5 weeks, I shipped 7 vehicles, and they amounted to this much here. And so you see, out of 91, I lost a lot of deals. Either people choosing another service, etc. So that's something I need to work on. The biggest thing that I see was pricing. So if you see here on Central Dispatch, let's see if we can. Let's do, say, Los Angeles, and I'll kind of give you guys an idea um, of what you're gonna deal with. And the way I was pricing these, I pretty much took AI based history on mileage. I can also use the Super Dispatch pricing tool. So if you have Super Dispatch here, they have a free pricing tool that you can use. Let me see if it'll pull up. Yeah, this is. I'm running a lot of systems on this, so it's like really slow here. So we're gonna check this, but I'm gonna kind of give you guys an idea. Let me see. You have this pricing insights here, and Super Dispatch is really good. I actually like using Super Dispatch more than Central Dispatch. Um, the only thing I noticed was when I posted on Super Dispatch, unless I posted a really good rate, it was hard to move or get it picked up. So that's why I also got Central Dispatch. But here you can kind of put in the pricing. So let's say Los Angeles. Let's say to Houston, and then let's say put in the vehicle here. And so let's see a Camry. So then you can just calculate through their AI generated, and then we have recent moves here. Average price is 40 cents, and their pricing recommendation is 58 cents for 1,500 miles. Now, that's a pretty good rate, fair rate. I would have probably priced this between here and here around 50 cents, but a lot of the times, just starting and learning the pricing, um, a lot of times I use a pricing recommendation here. So if you see here, it's 58 cents a mile. Now, if you come over to Central Dispatch, same route, Las Vegas to Houston, and then look at these rates. U.S. car ship, 25 cents. Premium, 34 cents. And then you see like Montway, 41 cents. Um, 38, 45, 36, 42. Here we get in a little bit, not sure. This is Cars Arrive Global Auto Transport, 52. Here we have another one, Cheap Auto Transport, 26 cents. Montway, 35 cents. But if you look at this, and for 1,500 miles, their rate is 35 cents. And so if you're at your recommended 58 cents, that's a huge difference. And so we're looking at, 880 versus what Montway has on 550. So that's over a $300 difference. So if you're quoting your customers based off of this rate and plus your broker fee, they're probably factoring, a 20-30% broker fee on this. Let's just say 30% would be 165. That's 715. So before even adding, if you're just going to base it off of Super Dispatch pricing, you're already, before you factor in your rate, $150 more expensive than most likely a lot of the people are getting quotes from Montway and these other large brokerages. So they're really cheap, so that's what you're up against. Because if you come here, um, let's say a 30% broker fee on this, and 886, you're looking at 1150, right? Versus Montway would be 715. So that's a $400 difference. So if you come and quote a customer 1150 and they say, "Oh, well, why am I going to go with you? Montway has at 715. You're $400 more." you know, they're going to go with the cheaper rate, you know. No matter what the service is, people want to go with the lowest rate. And a lot of people aren't really familiar with auto transport, um, and some of the risks of dealing with low rates like this. 29 cents here. So that's what you're up against. So you kind of have to put yourself in a position to either offer extremely good customer service, um, or build up your clientele based on referrals, and you really just have to sell yourself. That's the hardest thing. So as you see here, like I had a lot of interested people, but many of them didn't close. It's still a good close amount, about 7-8%. But there was a lot of times I could have closed, I think 30 to 40% more if I would have maybe quoted a lower pricing, or maybe came in between um, some of these lower prices. So that's what you're going to deal with. It's almost like a race to the bottom. So you have to kind of factor in your expenses and figure out what you need to charge per load to be profitable and maintain your business. And although my prices were a little bit higher, I was still able to get 7 customers for the month. And even at that low amount, I was able to cover my expenses, my total expenses for the month, which is around, with the TMS and insurance, and bond, expenses run about 600, 500 a month, expense wise. So we'll see what happens in month two. But my advice, the biggest thing I would say, is very competitive. Um, the biggest thing I would say is just learn how to quote your customers. You don't want to come back with a low rate and then the carrier wants more and you have to go back and ask your customer for money. So I never asked a customer for more money. So that's another reason why I was quoting a little bit higher. Um, so just in case, it was there, I could come down on the quote. So if were like, "Oh, that's too high," I could say, come back and say, "Okay, well, I can do a discount of, 50 dollars, $100, and kind of compare it and still get the unit to move." So they say, "Okay, I was able to get a discount. Let's go," and I still maintain my a good profit margin there. But it's gonna take some work and just tweaking. Um, but that's pretty much it. That's kind of like some insights here, quick insights on what you kind of can expect. Um, I think if you can really get your SEO down and get some customers and your conversions down, you can do really well at auto transport. I know there's a lot of people that say, you need connections in the industry, and it's very difficult to get leads, etc. And um, a lot of companies are closing. But if you really work at it, and you stay on your grind, um, you can do whatever you put your mind to. So there's a lot of opportunity, in this freight sector of freight brokering. So let me see here. I was trying to see if I could pull up more listings here, but you see the available listings here is 40,000 on the board. So there's work out there. Whether you want to be a broker or a carrier, dispatcher, there's a lot of work. It's a constant flow of work every day. Vehicles are being moved. So that's pretty much it. I'll come back in month two, end of month two, and kind of give you guys a rundown, on where I am in month two, and we'll see if I improve or if things, see which way things go. Thank you for tuning in. This is Andre from Big Fella Auto Express.